This woman was buried alive, and somehow, what she did next is unbelievable. Mikalina Lewandowska was in the bathroom putting on makeup, getting ready to go shopping with her boyfriend. She was excited because their relationship was rocky, and he hadn't asked her to do anything with him in a long time. When she emerged from the bathroom ready to go, instead of an eager boyfriend, she found a peculiar one. He smiled strangely and said he had something to show her, but it was not a gift. It was a stun gun. She thought that her boyfriend and his best friend who was tagging along were playing a joke on her, but they were not, as she would soon find out they had plans. Marcin threw her to the floor and shoved it against her neck. Marcin and Patrick then used packing tape to cover Mikalina's mouth and bind her wrists and ankles. They stuffed the fully bound young woman into a cardboard box, then began tightly securing it with packing tape. The attackers finished sealing the box, carried it to Patrick's trunk, and placed it inside. They then drove quite a distance from what Mikalina could tell. It was a remote wooded area. The pair had pre-dug a shallow grave. They placed the box inside, then used a shovel to dump soil on top of her. And for good measure, they also placed an 88-pound or 40-kilogram tree trunk on top of the box to ensure Mikalina would never get out alive. Then she suddenly realized that she actually had something that could help her. Ironically, it was the very thing that Marcin had given her to symbolize their love, her diamond engagement ring. She took it off and used the sharp edges of the diamond to first cut the tape around her wrists and then her ankles. Then she put it back on and went for the cardboard. She just kept cutting and slashing at it with her ring until she could get her hand through a hole. And she pushed up as hard as she could through the earth until her head emerged through the top. After having been buried alive for nearly an hour, Mikalina freed the rest of her body. She staggered from the woods onto the road. She saw a car approaching and flagged it down. Thankfully, the driver stopped and was helpful. He called the police, who arrived within 15 minutes. Marcin Kasperzak was convicted of attempted murder and kidnapping and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Patrick Boris was found not guilty of attempted murder, but was found guilty of kidnapping and sentenced to 4.5 years.